And for most of you who have been practicing Raj Yoga meditation, you understand that Baba always says, Adi so Ant. Whatever happened in the beginning will repeat again at the end. So that is why it is important to understand what happened in the beginning of the yajna and how did it all happen, and how Dadis prepared for the inevitable, and how Dadis prepared themselves for the transformation of this whole human consciousness into this divine consciousness. And before any further ado, I welcome Brother Prabhakar. Om Shanti. Prabhakar Bhai, welcome. Let me edit the spotlight. Feel free to Prabhakar Bhai, आप unmute करेंगे? हाँ जी. Welcome, Brother Prabhakar.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti, this is for English translation. Om Shanti, everyone. Before we start, we will sit for 1 minute in silence meditation. Before we start the session, we'll make some points here. The first one is how the Dadis in the beginning did make efforts which led them to be complete. So we will learn what they did and what efforts did they take in the beginning of the yajna. We will do other things, but the first thing would be this. And whatever we will listen to, keep in mind, keep a thought in your mind that this is my last moment and this is my last stage. This is how my stage will be before I go to the next world. So that is why just pay attention, keeping in mind that this is my last time. These are the last moments. And listen with that awareness, with a lot of concentration. And to make us understand it better, he's going to start with an example of a sister. And this incident which he's going to talk about is going to be with Mama and with a sister. So what happened was Brahma Baba came to Bombay, and Mama is in Delhi at that time. And some sisters spent some time with Baba in Bombay, and then they came back to Delhi. And Mama called one of the sisters and asked her that, what was your experience being with Baba for 1 month in Bombay? And the sister recalls that when he was speaking, the way Mama was looking at him, the way he was listening to her about Baba and what Baba did, how Baba, spoke the Murli, it appeared as if Mama was listening with so much concentration, like through her eyes. through her eyes, Mama was depicting that she's listening to her with so much of a concentration that the sister felt that staying with Baba for 1 month, what she did not experience, he experienced with Mama within a minute when she was sharing her experience with Baba. Because Mama had gathered all the energy and focused all her energy listening to the sister. So the brother is saying, keep that in mind also while you're listening to this class today. Get your energy, bring your energies back to the center and concentrate and listen to this class. And also while you're listening, think about the what efforts Daddy did and what should be my effort right now. So brothers asking, do you feel like this, that what happened in the beginning of the organization is happening right now? Do you feel it like that? So he's saying that one time Baba had come to Karachi, Pakistan, and Ganga Dadi, she had to secretly come and meet Baba because her family was not allowing her to come. And the reason why she had to, because during that time there was some during that time in the initial younger stages, there was a law against the organization that nobody can come into the organization because it was very new and there was a lot of pushback for the organization. So there was a law against people to come in the organization and go out. So it seems like the same thing, what happened in the beginning, is right now that there's restricted movements to go to different places. And also, as you're aware, that almost most of the dadis have left their body recently. And there are going to be some difficult scenes which will come up. So, what should our effort be now to keep ourselves ready? So, Bhai is giving an example like when we study for exams, we all put in 10 hours or 20 hours before we go and give that exam. But what really matters is what the answer you've written to the question which came up in the examination. So in the same way, right now, you might be serving for 10 hours, 20 hours, or 30 hours. But when this paper comes, when a test paper comes, what is your stage at that point? That will matter. What stage you have at that point, that is important. Right now, we are listening to Murli, we're doing a lot of service, doing a lot of effort, but this is when everything is going good for us. But actually, what we are reveals when a test paper comes, when a difficult situation comes in front of us. And that will tell us actually what our stages and where we are with our efforts. And he remembers that Baba has mentioned in the Murli that there will be a time when a lot of people will leave their bodies. And it looks like that is the time which Baba has been talking about. Baba has also mentioned about bombs, and has mentioned about evil souls, and also mentioned about our um, you know our senses, which won't cooperate with us. So by saying that, it could be that with most of the people, things are fine and things are going well and there is no problem with most of the people, but it could be just one person that you might still have to settle accounts with. So when the final paper comes, these are the people who will come in front of you. Most of them, with most of other people, there is no problem, but there might be one or two people, and they might come to test you. It could be it could be your weaknesses also which will emerge during the final time. It could be your anger or jealousy or anything else which might come at the final time. So do you think we all are ready for the final time? Or do you think that the time will get better and you'll have more time to feel, put in more effort? By again asking the question, do you think, are you prepared for the time when the evil souls will attack from all corners, when the nature will, when there will be attack through nature, through people, through your own weaknesses? So do you think you're ready for it? And if you want to check how you will be during that time, this is this is the time to see in the present situation. So if someone insults you right now, or someone says something bad for you, do you get shaken up? So that will tell you what your stage is going to be in the future. And that is why I is mentioning again that when you're listening to this class, make sure that your energies are not scattered here and there, and you're listening to this class as if this could be your last class. So listen with a lot of concentration. Prepare yourself like that, because we all know our birth date. We don't know our death day. So he's saying, for example, for this class, for such a for a class like this, we still prepare. He had to prepare for this class. So are we preparing ourselves for our death? So as in the Murli also, it's mentioned so many times that what your stage is will decide how you're going to face your death. Because in what stage we leave our body, our subtle body can feel, takes all the sanskars along with it. So do you feel that we have reached to that stage um, where I'm prepared to leave my body? And as Baba has mentioned, that except for Baba and Param Dham, nothing, nothing else should remain. Nothing. You shouldn't remember anything else because no one knows when you're going to leave the body. If you knew that okay, I'm going to die at 80, then you know that okay, you have 20 years to have fun and then 20 years to do push to do effort. But when we take birth in this body, we have no idea when we're going to leave this body. And so Bhai is asking that do you know that whatever plans you've made for the future, do you think this body is going to be with you during that time? Will you still be in this body during that time? The way we have to live is if you come to know that you're going to die tonight, then what are you going to give importance to? What are you going to do? What things are you going to give importance to? So immediately you will start thinking about your moment now and not about 1 year from now. So by saying there's a difference. Um, when you look into the future and you're making effort for the future, that's one thing. But always being in the stage of being in future, just always thinking about future and not living in the now, that's a different aspect. He's giving an example that one brother asked Mama after the Murli and said that sometimes some sisters come, sometimes some different sisters come and they read the Murli. So can you if tell me which sister is better in reading the Murli or guiding me? Can you give me some recommendation? And Mama said that the best teacher is you for yourself because you know your own weaknesses, you know your own habits, so you know yourself better and you know where you need improvements. Because the teacher won't know about your weaknesses or about your habits. You would know better, and hence you would be a better teacher for yourself. In the present, you can always see what is happening around you. And in future, there's going to be many more scenes which will come up. And Baba has already mentioned that in the Murli. So let's talk about, we have heard about, evil souls. And there was a message through the Sandeshi also about evil souls. Because right now, the way people are leaving the body, they're leaving the body immediately and they're living the body in fear. So imagine the stage they're leaving their body with a lot of fear, with a lot of anger. They're not doing it on purpose, but that's their condition. And what does evil mean? Evil mean that a soul who hasn't found peace, who is, is in fear. So that's evil soul. So the people who are leaving their body right now, the stage they're leaving, they left in a lot of pain. They left in a lot of sadness. So these souls are not settled, not in peace. So do you think that your aura is such that it is pure and positive? Because there are different stages in a spiritual journey. The ultimate stages that that there are negative things happening around you, but your stage is such and your stage is so powerful that you can change the environment around you. So he's giving an example. During Dadi's time, there was a couple who had come for Baba Milan, and the wife was having some physical problem. She had some kind of infection, and she told Dadi about it, that it's not healing. And Dadi said that go to the Om Shanti Bhavan and do meditation and go ask Baba why this is happening with you. So she started doing yoga and she said that I'm receiving some message from Baba, but it's not very clear. So Dadi told her, go back again and try again. And then when she went back, she got an experience. So what happened was that she got an experience that she must have helped somebody, some tribe person, some tribal man, and she helped him to get well. And that person gave her something, like some powder that she had with her. And because of that powder, like he had some um, he had put some kind of magic in that powder. That powder wasn't given with pure wishes. So she had that powder with her, and that powder was causing the infection and the problem in her body. So when she came to know, she immediately threw the powder out. So, and this story is just recent. So he's just saying that going forward, there'll be a lot of evil souls around us because the way they've left their body in a lot of pain. And again, evil doesn't mean evil, but just like in a lot of pain and a lot of sorrow. So by saying that we do everything, we do a lot of service, we listen to the Murli, we get up, we get up and do Amrit Vela, and we think that we are doing a lot of effort. But the word purshat or the effort is different. It's not what tapasya means. Tapasya is more deeper, which is where you go deep within yourself to understand your body, to understand your sanskars, to understand your habits, and to make changes in that. Like Dadis, they did for 14 years, they did tapasya. And during that 14 years, there was no service or there was no opening centers or no programs during that time. only for 14 years. They only did tapasya, which is again going very deep inside and understanding yourself and your mind and intellect and your sanskars. And they did it for 14 years. So brothers asking, how many of us are have done tapasya for 6 hours non-stop without getting up, or has spent 3 days without talking and just done tapasya during that time? So imagine that if we have missed that part of tapasya, then imagine that at what stage we will be. If, if our yoga is not powerful, if it's not if it's not to that level of tapasya, then how are we going to change our sanskars? How are we going to change our habits? And Baba has explained very clearly how we can do this. First is first is yog bal, like just doing a lot of yoga. Second is our interaction with people around us. And the third is our body. So our karmas are taken care of these from these three places. And if we are not able to settle our accounts from these three stages, from yoga, from our friends and family around us, or from this body, then then we will face Dharmraj at the end. So Bhai is saying that if you have a candle light and you're making dinner on a candle flame, do you think that you'll be able to make that food? You need powerful fire to make dinner. So is a yoga at that level, or is it like a candle flame? So he's giving an example that if somebody tells you something wrong, we immediately we might not reply, but that our karma is getting settled because somebody came and insulted us. So that karma is getting settled. But then what are we doing after that? What we usually do after that is we think about that incident and we think about that person again and again and again. And then we create new karmas. So that is why when all the dadis came to the yajna, the first lesson Baba made them do was tapasya. First tapasya and then service. Because if you haven't done a lot of tapasya and you haven't brought your stage to that level, and when you go to serve, then there will be times when you will face people and you face insults or bad wishes. Then how are you able to serve when your stage is not that powerful? Because that is the time when situation comes, that's that's when it will tell you what your stage is. So to make our efforts very powerful, for us to get motivated in tapasya, we will look into Dadi's life and see what we can add from their lives into our journey. because the time has come, and the time has come to go back. Are we ready? And if you're not, then let's get inspired from Dadi's Prashad, Dadi's effort, and see what we can add in our efforts. So it's said that if if whatever we see and whoever we see, and if we churn those thoughts or those experience, then we will become like that. So that's why we will we will go back to the history, we'll go back to the incident, and we will churn on it so that when you experience that, you will become like that. So we'll go back to the Yajna's history when India and Pakistan was one country, and who were these dadis, and how many were there, and what efforts these dadis took. And there were some dadis, the way they left their body, it was so beautiful. It was as if how we change clothes from one dress to another. They left their body in a similar fashion. So he's talking about one dadi that um that she had come for Baba. She had come for Baba's Milan, and after the Baba's Milan was done, in the night she asked for Murli for the next day's Murli, and she listened to the Murli, and she packed all her luggage, she packed all her things, and she packed and she said, "Okay, I'm going to go to Baba's room to say bye." And she went in Baba's room, and then one brother came to see where's the sister because she was supposed to leave with the luggage. And when he went in Baba's room, he saw that she had left her body. So it was the way she left her body was so beautiful that she listened to the Murli the night before. She packed her own things and her suit in her suitcase, so all her things were in her suitcase. She went and she did all the Char Dham. She went in all the four places, and then at the last, she went in Baba's room to talk to Baba's room and to take his leave. And that's when she left the body so easily. And then another Dadi was Dadi Shantamani, I think that's what he said. But one Dadi. So she had three, four kids, and she was coming to Baba's satsang, to Baba's meeting, and the children were saying, "Please don't go, please don't, please don't go." Um, uh, and But she wanted to come and join the yagya. So the husband also said that if you leave the house to go to Baba's yagya, then you won't come back, and you can't even meet your children, and you have to leave the way you are. And she came from a very rich family, so it was told to her to take all her jewelry out also, and told to her that you will not come back to see your children. And she had very small kids, 3 or 4 kids, and she had to imagine that she had to leave her 3-year-old kid who was crying for her, and she left that kid and walked in Baba's yagya. So he's talking about another dadi that she knew that she's going to leave her body at around 8:25. She was in the hospital and she said, "Look, I'm going to leave the body very soon. I'm going to leave at 8:25. So call everyone. I'm just going to give Drishti to everyone, and I'm going to leave." So when she looked at the time, she asked, "How much time do you is left?" 8:25, and they said there's 5 minutes more. So she said, "Okay, call all the patients also," and she just gave them very sweet drishti, and then they played her music and listening to the music and giving drishti, she just left the body very easily. By saying that when we have to go to somebody's house, to a guest house or to a party, or to one city to another city, we take care, we do so much of preparation, going somewhere. So are we prepared to leave this body and to go to the next stage? So he's asking that, have you ever thought that the way you sit in your room, if somebody just puts you the same way in on a stage, are you prepared? Are you ready? Right now, we don't reveal our true selves. We hide ourselves um, through, through service or through other things. But are we very true to ourselves as to what my stage is at this point? So right now we'll go through Dadi's journey, um, and make sure your visualization power is very strong, because as you see the things, as you hear the things, make sure your visualization power is very strong so that you can also go through their journey. Brother is going to show us some pictures about the yagya, the old pictures about Dadis, and there's a lot to learn from that. And he's going to show some photographs, and then he's going to explain around that photograph. Harsha, Harsha Bhai is saying that most of the children, Baba's children who are on Zoom today, are new children and might not know about the brothers in the yagya or dadi. So if you can just explain a little bit more in detail. So as you might know, that Pandav Bhavan is the um, main center, main location, and that's where Brahma Baba started the yagya in India, and he left his body there. And all the other dadis also did the tapasya from Pandav Bhavan. And Baba also achieved his full stage, his complete stage in Pandav Bhavan, and he left his body also in Pandav Bhavan. And Shiv Baba used to come to Brahma Baba's body, and the place where the Mulli used to be recited was in History Hall. And then there was Baba's hut, and the picture what you see right now is Shanti Stham, where Baba has left his body, is also known as Tower of Peace or Shanti Stham. And then you have History Hall where the Mulli was spoken, and then Baba's hut and Baba's room. Baba's hut was where he used to meet the children, and Baba's room where he used to rest. So we'll get we'll get to know the Dadis who were with Brahma Baba during that time. So the first lady, we very lovingly call her Mama. She's also known as the mother of the organization. And there were other, she was very young when she came in the organization, and she was given this title of Mama or the mother, though she was very young in body, but she was she was very but her efforts were remarkable. And the next one is Ganga Dadi on the left. And it's said about her that she has gone through so much torture in her life that nobody else has been through that much torture. She was she was chained. Um, she was chained in her house, and she was beaten up in her house and chained all the time in her house. And she um, she came out of it. And next is Shantamani Dadi, and she was related to Mama. She hardly spoke. She was always silent, but her eyes, something about her eyes were very powerful. And even through her pictures, you can feel the power, the energy through her eyes. And Bhai says that he has met her, and that time also the way he felt with her was very strong. Like her eyes, through her eyes, you could feel the power. The third one is Baba's daughter-in-law. She was related to Baba, and the special thing about her is that this soul, has been with Baba throughout his 84 birth. The next Dadi is also very known to be very yogi Dadi, and her speciality was that she could pick up anybody's thoughts. Anybody who came near her, she could pick up their thoughts. She could understand what they're feeling. The fifth one is Prakashmani Dadi, and this Dadi is known for her love, just immense love, unconditional love. And so much so that when she left her body, the staff in Madhuban, the people who sweep the floors and who have no connection with the Gyan, have no connection with knowledge, but they also wept for her for 3 days because they had such a beautiful connection. The next one is Chandramani Dadi, and she was known to be fearless. So if there was problem in the yajna or uh, any problem in the yajna, she was always put in the front. Next is Manohar Dadi, and she used to speak about the history of the yajna very beautifully in detail, as though you are present. Um, you're present there listening to her. You were present during the yajna time. The next is Sandeshi Dadi, and she came to Baba at a very young age. And this all happened. All these dadis came in Hyderabad, Pakistan, and all these dadis lived very close to each other near Baba's house. Some did have connection with Baba before the yagya. They were related to Baba, few of them, and few of them were new to Baba and the yagya. So in the second row on the left is Gulzar Dadi's real mother, her Gulzar Dadi's mother, and she's known as all-rounder Dadi. And she also went through a lot of torture. When she came with Gulzar Dadi to Karachi one day, it was an afternoon, and when she came in the afternoon, and she said that we just want to meet Brahma Baba, and we just want to meet Baba at that point. And Gulzar Dadi was with her, and she said that the children want to meet Baba. And the moment, so she had gone with her husband to meet Baba. The moment the husband came to know that this is what is happening, he immediately snatched her and took her back in the car and took her away from there. So by saying that they went through a lot of things, a lot of drama, if we had if we have to go through that, we will leave the yagya within a second. The next one is Pushpa Shanta Dadi. So Baba lovingly also used to call her Guddi just because of her round face. So the story about where the Dadi was leaving at 8:25 in the hospital and said that, okay, now I'm going to leave and let everybody come. It was about this Dadi, this second Dadi from the left. And this Dadi came from from a very rich family. And her daughter gave a lot of cooperation also in the Yagya. Though she wasn't in Gyan, but she gave a lot of cooperation. So the third person is Anand Kishore Dada, and this is Vishwa Kishore brother, and he was Brahma Baba's older older brother's son. And he also was aware when he was going to leave his body. Baba had already given him a vision and told him that when his last moments are going to be. So he was in Pandav Bhavan and he was taking farewell from Baba. And below him is Chandrahas Dada. And Baba called him and said to take a picture. So that the brother asked that Baba never takes Baba never takes a picture. Baba never takes a picture. How come Baba took a picture of you? And then the brother said that Baba knows that I'm going to leave the body soon, and that is why Baba is taking a picture. And I also know that I'm going to leave this body soon, right now. So he was aware about um, about his last moments. And his speciality was that he was very peaceful person, very quiet person, and had a lot of regard and respect for all the Dadis. And the next one is Jagdish Bhai. All the literature, as you know, is written by him. So all the other people all came from Sindh, Karachi, Pakistan, but Jagdish Bhai is the only one who came after after they came to India. And he also has a very wonderful history how he came in Jan and how he started writing all the literature and a small story around him. Baba told him to write something. So he wrote something and Baba said, okay, go show it to the sister. And the, the sister made some corrections. And Baba said, okay, show it to some other sister. And then the other sister also did some correction. So that the third sister also did some correction. So when he went and the final paper went to Baba, when it went to Baba, he said that there is hardly anything what I have written because it has got so much correction on its way. So then Baba gave him the Baba gave him a blessing that from now onwards, whatever you write will only be printed and only your words will be printed and no correction is required. And that's how all his literature came into existence. The next Dadi is Mohini Dadi, and she is Shanta's Dadi's real sister. Then the next is Tantri Dadi. Uh, she is uh, she is the Yugal of Vishwa Kishore Dada, and she used to go in trance. And whatever message used to come to Baba, she used to bring it. She used to go to in trance and bring those messages. She was a wonderful messenger. And her name, the name given to her is Santri, which means like a orange. So because whenever she went in yoga, her entire face used to become like red and orange. So lovingly used to call her Santri Dadi. The next Dadi, I'm sorry, I didn't get her name. Oh, sorry, this is Gulzar Dadi. No, sorry, she's Kamal Sundri Dadi, not Gulzar Dadi, Kamal Sundri Dadi. And she could see what how how the golden age looks like. What will golden age like? What is golden age and how people live in golden age? What kind of food they eat? how do they walk, how they talk, how they get married, or what they study. And Baba told her to go in one room and stay there and just do tapasya in that room. And she was asked to just be in one room for a long period of time and be silent and then do tapasya. And what happened that she when she was in this tapasya, that she stayed in this tapasya. She did tapasya for many, many days in silence, that she started seeing herself in golden age, and her memory of the current confluence age slowly started fading, and all she could see and the way she portrayed herself was the way she was, as if she's in golden age. She only all the memories of the golden age just emerged for her, and the current the current age in which she was, or the current time in which she was, all that she forgot, and she only remembered all the things about golden age. Because you could, because through food also you could come to know, because you used to eat only the things what people used to eat, what people would eat in golden age. And she could also see people's role in golden age. So if in the present situation, if she saw someone who was sweeping the floor, she was like, "Why are you sweeping the floor?" Because she could see her position in the golden age, and she knew that she's going to be a princess. So she used to find it very astonishing that why she's sweeping the floor. And then somebody who was sleeping on the bed, she used to wonder why she's sleeping on the bed, because she could see her in the golden age, that she was the maid in the golden age. So she could sense people. She knew people what they were going to be in the golden age. The next one is Dhyani Dadi. And Dhyan means someone who is meditative. And the speciality of this Dadi was when she used to go in trance, her used to remain open. All other Dadis' eyes used to remain closed, but she was the only Dadi. She was the only Dadi whose eyes were open when she used to go in trance. And she was the one who got Mama in the yagya. And she was the one who got Mama in the yagya. She used to call Mama and say, let's go in the yagya." And finally, because of her, Mama came in the organization. The one he's showing the cursor at is Lacho Dadi. And Lacho Dadi came when she was very young. She came and she studied, English and Hindi and the her spiritual study. And the next is Sheel Indra Dadi. Again, she was a very good messenger. Somewhere in Madhuban, there was a diesel leakage happening, and Baba called her in trance immediately and told her, call up someone in Madhuban and tell them that there is a leakage, diesel leakage happening. And by saying, look at the faith that they had, that Baba is there to take care of them. And Baba keeps on saying that, children, stop worrying and give me all your worry. But we should have faith on God. If someone tells you, look, I'll finish your job, you might have faith and you'll say, okay, he's doing my job. So do you have that much faith in Baba when Baba is saying that, give me all your worries? And Baba used to send most of the messages through her. And Satri Dadi was through Madhuban, and this other Dadi she used to live she lived outside Madhuban, so any messages used to go through this Dadi. Once this Dadi was sitting in a balcony in Pune, and there was another saintly person known as Vaswani Dada. He had his own spiritual organization. So Sadhu Vaswani was uh, uh, a guru of a different organization, and she saw him early in the morning walking, and Dadi got a thought that she got a, she got her thought that this sadhu this that when she saw the other gurus, Sadhu Vasmani, she got a thought at that point that this man has been with Baba, has been the same age as Baba, that Baba has already left his body, but this man is still alive and is still walking nicely. And why did our Baba leave? And immediately Baba took her in trance, took some other Dadi in trance, and sent a message for her saying that your Baba hasn't gone anywhere, your Baba is still with you. So the point being that Baba exactly knew what everyone was thinking, and he pulled Dadi and he gave her the message that your Baba is still with you. This is Baba's Bhavan in Karachi. This is Om Nivas is the name of this building, of this house. This is all pictures of Karachi. This is Radhe Bhavan. This is in Karachi, Pakistan. Oh, this is so sweet. This is all the kids who came. Uh, they came in the boarding and they were studying there and doing their spiritual studies also. Oh my God, these pictures are so beautiful. This is Mama in the middle, then Manmohini Devi. So all the dadis are here. And this dress was specially designed by Baba. And the reason why this uniform was given to them, because so that they come out of the consciousness of that I'm a female or I'm a male, and just keep one conscious that you are just a soul. So Baba did a lot of made them do a lot of effort keeping that soul conscious in mind. So these are the five sisters of the Yagya where Baba had made trustee. Mama, Baba had made them trustee all the wealth and all the money of Yagya. So one of them is Prakash Mani Dadi, Mithu Dadi. So Mithu Dadi first, Prakash Mani Dadi second, Shantamani Dadi third, Kala Behan, and Sheetal sister. So we don't know about sisters at the end, but the first three have been in the Gyan, always been in Gyan. So this is the boarding school. This was where the children used to come and study. Baba always had that in mind that for the small kids, I will have a a classroom for them. So the ground floor had the kitchen, the middle floor was their classroom, and the third floor was where they rested. And then Mama and Prakashmani Dadi, they they took in charge of this boarding school. And the one who's standing tall is Chandramani Dadi. So all the dadis, Gulzar Dadi, Lacho Dadi, Chandramani Dadi, Ishu Dadi, all of them came in this boarding school and they studied at such small ages. This is not Dadi Gulzar, that's what they're saying. She's Kamal Mani Dadi. This one is Kamal Mani Dadi. Oh my God, they were so cute. So this is the time when there was a lot of opposition from other people, from the people around them. So there was a lot of opposition because of celibacy. And as history has shown us that whenever any um, any founder has come or anything new has started, there has been a lot of opposition during that time. So naturally, Baba also faced a lot of opposition, and mainly due to celibacy. Dadis were taking them out. The older sisters were taking them out for a walk, and the opposition people used to just come and lie down on the stairs so that they should block their way. And naturally, when they block their way, the children can't go inside, and that would create a lot of problem. And because of that, the children might give up. So imagine that then the kids used to stay outside, stand outside and eat and wait for them to leave the place and go. So they were such small children who had so much faith and so much strength within them. So again, the question is that do we have that kind of strength? If somebody comes and opposes us, somebody comes and challenges us, would we leave? So all these people are the older ones are the parents of these kids who are opposing the organization, and these are the kids, the small kids who had come in the yagya. So there used to be times when the mayor had to be called, had to intervene in them. So when what time what happened when Baba went to Kashmir, somebody burned the place also. This is Yashoda Mata, Brahma Baba's Yugal. And behind her is Vijender Dadi, and that's Mama, and there's a lawyer behind her. So there was a lot of opposition from from the family, and Baba had to hear a lot of insult at that time. And these all these people are from Sindh, Pakistan, and all of these people came from very rich background. They had a name in society. This is a picture from Karachi. So when everybody used to go in meditation, and the moment they used to go in meditation, they used to go in trance, and whatever they saw in trance, they used to behave that way. And this is Gopik's sister, and she used to be in trance for 3 years. So she left, she was in trance for 3 years, and they used to feed her because she was always in trance. So they used to feed her with spoon. And during that time, the trance period used to go for a longer time, not for 1 hour, but for 8, 8, 9, 9 hours, and for longer period of time. But Mama never went in trance. Mama never had any sakshatkar. Mama was the only person who never went in trance during that time. They really look like goddesses, so beautiful. And Dhari is saying that look from their eyes, from their face, you can feel that they are intoxicated. During that time, after eating dinner, the Sandeshis used to go uh, in the subtle region, and they used to see what is happening there, what happens in the golden age. So they used to get all those message, and they used to get all that vision, and then they used to share this with the other people. And then they get dressed up that way. The way they saw them in the golden age, the messengers used to come and tell them, and then they used to dress up that way. They were always intoxicated in that love, in that world. That's the, that's Dadi Janki at the end. On the right hand side, that's Dadi Janki. And Dadi Janki also has gone through a lot. She was also beaten up. She had she had a small child. Dadi Janki also had a small child, and she left her child also. So this is Pihu Didi, Pihu Dadi, and as you all must have heard, the 14th April Murli, because we all know that the Murli was very different, and that was through Pihu Dadi or Pihu Didi, and that's Pihu Dadi. And during this picture is during pictures of the time when Baba entered her body, and during that time we never called Baba as Shiv Baba, but we called him Almighty or Bhagwan. So what happened was that during that time when Baba used to come in Brahma Baba's body, that everybody started thinking that Brahma Baba is God, because Brahma Baba was a very well-known person and a very powerful person during that time. So when Shiv Baba started coming in Brahma Baba's body, people had confusion and they started thinking Brahma Baba is God. And to clear that confusion, for 3 days, this part happened, where to show the separation between Brahma Baba and Shiv Baba decided to enter into Pihu Dadi's body. And when Baba came into her body, Shiv Baba came to her body. It was that time the rule was that nobody else will be in that room. Only 3 or 4 people were allowed to be in that room. Uh, Only 3 or 4 main people were supposed to be in the room. Then only Shiv Baba would have entered into her body to show and to reveal and to show the separation. And Shiv Baba came, Shiv Baba came into this lady's body and stayed with her for 15 days. And Brajendra Dadi, who's on the side, she was with her. And for those 15 days, neither she left or neither she slept nor this Pihu sister slept. And a lot of things were cleared up during that time. The confusion of Brahma Baba and Shiv Baba. So when Baba, when Baba used to come to in their body, Baba used to give them direction of small, small things. Like the key is kept here, go give the key to this person. There was some sugar bag which was getting rotten. So Baba gave that small, small direction also, that go change the bag of the sugar getting rotten. And he made it very clear during that time, that those 15 days, that whom you're seeing is Brahma Baba, and I am I'm Shiv Baba, and it's separate. And he made it very clear that मैं Atma, I'm the soul, I'm Paramatma, I am the supreme soul, and For 15 days, they made it, it was made clear, and everyone was called individually, and it was made clear that what everybody's part is. And then after that 15 days were done, then after that they officially started doing tapasya. And Baba used to give message that for the next 15 days, it's going to be only two chapatis and buttermilk, and 3 days you're going to be in silence. And then you have to get up at 12:30 and get up and get ready and take bath and come for tapasya at 1 o'clock in the night. And they will not get up, and whatever they want, people will come and give it to them. And then from 1 to 6, they used to do tapasya. And then whatever position they have taken, they they never move. They never moved out of that position. And whatever tapasya they did, it always started with first being in silence. And a lot of instructions were given, like what to eat, how to sleep, how to get up in the morning. Because that time there was no rule about Amrit Vela at that time. But Mama used to get up early in the morning because Pihu Didi had told Mama that you're not allowed to sleep in the night because you are the Jagat Amba, you are the mother of this world. So you have to get up in the night and do tapasya for the world. So there's a lot of stories how they used to get direction for small, small things, how to walk, how to talk, what to eat, how to sleep. And there used to be a quote. Um, so there's an incident that Manohar Dadi and her sister and another sister was sitting there for food, and they got one dish, and the Dadi said that, you know, oh, we are getting the same dish again and again. I just ate that in the morning. I'm getting the same thing right now also. So then there was a quote. A quote in the sense there was a meeting where then things were discussed, like who's doing wrong and what's happening. So Mama used to ask if someone has seen. First question was, is has anybody done any mistake? And the second question used to be, has anybody seen any other person doing a mistake? So then one sister said that I saw that these two sisters were talking about this dish, and they were saying that we do not like this dish. So Mama said, you shouldn't talk about yagyas, anything about the yagya that this is not nice or you didn't like this. Because if you're talking bad about the yagya, then you're talking bad about Shri. So like this, through small, small things, they were taught how to conduct themselves, how to behave, how to do yoga. And the first class always used to be about soul consciousness. And for imagine for 1 month, they used to just talk about just being in soul conscious. Nothing, just soul conscious, just being in soul conscious. And the surprising thing was that all these people were related in some way or the other. But if you saw them interacting with each other, you will never know that from their behavior. So Bhai is wrapping up, and the request is to do meditation for 5 minutes. And Bhai's request is that now for the next 5 minutes, when we're going to do meditation, please sit in this awareness that this might be your last moment. So right now, what we'll practice is that me, the soul, I'm leaving this body and I'm going to my father, and this world doesn't belong to me anymore. So Bhai is saying that we're going to do meditation, that we're slowly leaving this body because I don't think anybody is enjoying the situation where we are today. So let's sit for 5 minutes to feel, to experience the stage of bodiless. So first, to begin with, keep your body in just one position. The body is now stable. And now slowly bring all your energy, bring all your energy to one place from all the parts of the body. Get all the energy towards the center of the forehead. And slowly don't make any movements of this body and get all your energy centered at the forehead. And imagine that all the relation of this body, all the habits of this body, in just few moments is going to come to an end. And then visualize yourself, see yourself outside the body, and notice the body. You, the soul, have left the body and watching this body without any attachment, without any feeling. You're just watching the body. And slowly, you are taking a final farewell of this body and all the relations of this body, and taking next step and going to a new journey. And I'm leaving this body and going towards Baba, Baba, who is my father and my mother. I'm leaving all the bondages I have, all the relations I have, all the habits that this body has. I'm leaving that back and going towards Baba. And, and me, the soul, is now in front of Baba, and I'm experiencing deep silence. And in those eyes, Baba's eyes, I can see the love in Baba's eyes. I can see the hope in Baba's eyes. And try to catch Baba's thoughts. Try to see what Baba, try to see what Baba is thinking about you, what hopes he has for you. And through his eyes, see what message he's giving you. And that message is only for you. And Baba right now is only and only meeting you. You're seeing the love and hope in Baba's eyes. You've understood the message he has for you. And Baba is giving you a message through his hand, through his eyes. And you have received that message. You've got that message especially for you and only for you. And now you're returning back to this world to carry on his message, the message which was given to you, especially. Mm. By is thanking everybody to listen to the class, and hopefully we all have got inspired from all the Dadis' journey. And because they already have made a path for us, then it's easy for us to follow that. And as it said, that if we keep any incident or anybody in our mind, we will become like them. So just keep Yagya's stories and Yagya's history in your mind, in your intellect, and slowly, slowly, you will also become like that. So he's saying a story that they were going to a mountain. They were, they decided to go to a mountain, and Mama was also going to come. And Mama, because she was little heavy, so she was taking time to reach to the spot. So one sister stayed back to look at her, that where she is. And when they reached at the top, Baba told her that don't wait for anybody when you are on this journey. So by saying, think think about whether we do that when we're going to listen to Murli. Do we wait? Do we wait for the other person to come? Then only we will go to Murli, or when I'll get better, then only I'll do Amrit Vela. Or is there any dependency on something? Because the time is moving fast, and are we also moving at the same speed in the same direction? Because if not now, then it's never. Because right now, when we are in this journey, there will be a time when there will be a lot of settlements of karma which will take place. So right now, the focus should be that right now, don't waste your time. Don't waste your time on people who are not right now important for you, or don't put your time on situations or things which are not very important right now, and try to focus on your effort. So like today also, we mentioned we mentioned that tapasya is missing from our life. So make your own chart of your tapasya, because we all are in body conscious right now. And when we sit for tapasya for 1 or 2 hours, then our body starts telling us that we want to talk to someone, we want to do something else. So the other reason why we don't feel the soul energy is because we're using all our energy to maintain this body. And we are right now not able to experience our powers. We know about our power, We know about, we have heard about all these power, but we are not able to experience the power right now, because right now we are very body conscious. So that is why it's very important that if we can remain in silence for a longer time, if we can do tapasya for a longer time, make your own chart. Like it could be as simple as that today, whoever I'll meet, I need to remember their speciality. So whoever today I'm going to meet, I'm going to remember their speciality. Maybe this could be your, that could be your pursha, that could be your effort for today. Bhai is again saying that the time is very less and there's a lot of test papers which are going to come. So right now is the time to put in effort and keep yourself light. And then everybody has to increase their effort, their effort to be in silence, and not 1 or 2 days. So if we want to keep our own bhatti, if we want to keep our own chart, say from 16th May onwards, we need to prepare 3 or 4 days before that. What what do I need to do during that time? Whether I need to do Mansa Seva, or do I need to do um, do about confluence sage? Um, do I need to do about changes in my behavior? Think about it beforehand, because the day of 16 when it comes, you already have a chart and you already have a timetable as to what you're going to do for this tapasya. So thank you. And in the second session, we will talk to you about what do you do, what efforts do you take for your personal purshat, for your personal effort. So Sukanya is thanking her. Um, and we are all are inspired, and we have taken such good notes about um, good notes on this class, and it's truly very inspiring.